The non-factual imagination also returns to facts. Ask a woman to describe her son, and she is likely to tell you with pride that he is 6 feet 2 or 3 inches tall and weighs 220 pounds, that his shoes are size 14, and that he eats 4 eggs at breakfast and 2 pounds of steak at a sitting. Her love, in short, frequently takes a statistical form. Years ago in Chicago, I used to listen to a Negro virtuoso, Facts and Figures Taylor, who entertained shouting crowds in Washington Park by reciting the statistics he had memorized in the public library. You want to know what the steel industry exported in 19 and 21? You listen to this now. You tell 'em facts and figures, give 'em hell. People who are not particularly friendly to art may be reconciled to it by factual interests, descriptions of the stretching or priming of the canvas, and the method of applying the paints, the dollar value of the picture. One thinks more kindly of a painting valued at $10,000, the original factory colors dripped from a 6-inch brush, than of one that has not applied to the prevailing form of the imagination for consideration. The theater-goer may be pleased to learn that behind the living room represented on the stage are fully furnished bathrooms or kitchens, which will never be seen but are there to give a reassuring sense of completeness or closure. The imitation will be absolutely genuine. Because we have a strong taste for the solid background, for documentation, for accuracy, for likeness, we are often confused about the borders between art and life, between social history and fiction, between gossip and satire, between the journalist's news and the artist's discovery. The demands, editorial and public, for certified realities in fiction sometimes appear barbarous to the writer. Why this terrible insistence on factual accuracy? Our readers will want to know, an editor will sometimes say, whether your information is correct. The research department will then make inquiries. How many stories does the Ansonia Hotel really have? And can one see its television antenna from the corner of Weston Avenue and 72nd Street? What do drugstores charge for Librium? What sort of mustard is used at Nadix? Is it squeezed from a plastic bottle or applied with a wooden spoon? These cranky questions will be asked by readers compulsively. Publishers know they must expect their errors to be detected. They will hear not only from the lunatic fringe and from pedants, but from specialists, from scholars, from people with experience in the field, from protective organizations and public relations agencies, from persons who have taken upon themselves the protection of the purity of facts. Archaeologists and historians are consulted by movie producers in the making of Roman spectaculars. As long as the chariots are faithful copies, the fire real Greek fire, it seems to make little difference that the dialogue makes you clutch your head, that the religious theme is trumped up with holy music and cunning lights. It presently becomes clear that the protagonist is not Ben-Hur, not Spartacus, but know-how. Art based on simple illusion is art in one of its cruder forms, and it is this that Hollywood with its technical skill has brought to perfection. The realistic method made it possible to write with seriousness and dignity about the ordinary, common situations of life. In Balzac and Flaubert and the great Russian masters, the realistic externals were intended to lead inward. I suppose that one might say that now the two elements, the inward and the external, have come apart. In what we call the novel of sensibility, the intent of the writer is to pull us into an all-sufficient consciousness, which he, the writer, governs absolutely. In the realistic novel today, the writer is satisfied with an art of externals. Either he assumes that by describing a man's shoes he has told us all that we need to know about his soul, or he is more interested in the shoes than in the soul. Literalists who write to the editor are rather odd and amusing people who do not need to be taken too seriously. But the attitude of the writer himself toward externals is a serious matter. The facts may excite a writer deeply, and in America we have a poetry of fact, the details of labor in Walt Whitman, the knowledge of navigation in Mark Twain, the descriptions of process in Hemingway's fishing stories. But in every case, it is the writer's